Good morning, everybody. Just wanted to bring you along what I got going on. I've been in the field this morning. We done picked all the silver queen. We put it all in a little tractor bucket. We're kind of cutting the tips off of them, the bottoms off of them, shucking them. And then next step, we're gonna get up there and blanch it and get them in some bags. This week is, I think I'm going to designate this as corn week. I'm letting my squash go to seed. I may pick a handful of it just to cook, but it's primarily going to seed. Same thing with my rattlesnakes. I'm letting them go to seed, which is hard to do because they're full right now. But we've got so much of it in the freezer and so much of it canned, it's just all we're going to eat. So, and I'm telling you, it's a job. When it all starts hitting, everything's ready. You got to take care of it. You got to pick it. You got to get them beans broke, get them blanched, get them in the pressure cooker, get them on the shelf. Same thing with this corn. It's here. Video I done maybe last Friday, I guess it was. I'm sitting there looking at my corn. It's not filled out. I mean, the old stalks, the leaves is just a hanging on the corn stalks. Look pitiful. I mean, you look out across the field and it's just sad, you know. It hadn't had no rain 7 or 8 days. You know, 95, 96, 98 degree temperatures. That corn was looking rough. I said, man, this ain't gonna work out. Then we had a good little old thunderstorm, kind of perked things up. Had it standing back tall again. And every day since then, we've had a pretty significant little rain. So the corn has filled out. The silver queen, it's definitely ready to pick. Should have picked it yesterday, but I don't know if you've seen the video before this, but yesterday I went and picked up a couple of old tractors I'm gonna work on. Got a little old Super A for parts, and then I got a little old Cub, but got it home, worked on it last night till about dark, and got it running. Seems like it's gonna be a sweet little old tractor. It's a 79 model, and but anyways, got it cranked up and going, and lights, everything worked on it. Lift works, everything works on it. Just a good, clean little straight tractor. I'm hoping everything works out okay on it. I know I got some fuel issues between the tank being a little bit rusted up on the inside. Not bad, but it's going to need a little cleaning. Something I can probably maybe put some of this gravel in it, shake it around, and get some of the loose rust out of it, and I go on with it. Put a fuel filter in line. It'll be all right. Clean the carburetor out possibly. But anyways, it had a wiring problem. The coil had actually melted down, come into 2 pieces, and some wires was burnt up. And I got it. I kind of just bypassed all that and got me some good coil on it and juice going to it, and it ran. And then I got to looking at it and realized it was a 79 model, a 12-volt system, had a GM alternator on it, Delco Remy alternator on it. Well, okay. So I fixed all the wiring, spliced everything back together, took care of all the burnt places. Not quite sure why it happened. That bothers me some, but I'll just have to cross that bridge when I get there. But after I got it all back together, the charging system worked, the lights worked, everything seemed to be okay on it. And I drove it around just a little bit, but it seems to be running low in fuel. It's running out of fuel, and the floats are letting fuel run through the carburetor. So I know the carburetor needs some attention, got some traction. Been sitting for 2 years, hadn't been cranked, so you know, I'm surprised it even cranked, but it did. Well, all right, enough jabbering about that little thing. There's a whole nother video or we'll just do a few videos on the Cub as we come on along with it. Right now, it's just, ain't got time for it. It's get in the garden, get this stuff produced, and get it in the refrigerator and the freezer, and get it done. If you don't, I'm gonna lose it. So anyways, thanks for watching. Enough of that blabbering. I gotta get back to work. Alrighty, twist this camera down just a foot. There you go. Alright, welcome back to the channel, everybody. We've been in the garden picking corn. Get this glove off here. This little glove here is supposed to be cut proof. Anyway, so I'm taking these ears, taking a machete, cutting the tips and the tail off of them, shucking them. Gonna take them up to the house and blanch them, clean them, blanch them, cut this corn off here, see if we can't get this stuff in the freezer. I'll tell you, shucking corn's a pretty relaxing thing to do. I'll cut a while, and I'll shuck a while. My little bucket here get full, and I'll go up there and dump it out. And the chicken run. I guess they'll go through there and find the corn. Enjoy it, and I'll get the shucks later on. I'll put them over in the mulch pile. But yeah, I'm telling you what, this old Silver Queen's good. Doesn't make the biggest ear. I'm looking at my field corn out there, and Lord have mercy, that's some of them ears 18 inches long. These here maybe, maybe a foot. Quite a few of them had, worms in the very ends of them. That's why I'm cutting tips off, just getting rid of worms that might be in them. I don't use any pesticides. Really try not to use any pesticides in anything. Sometimes I will on my fruit trees if I got a good harvest, but this year we had a real late frost. Got down 24 degrees there for a few days, and everything done budded out, looked good. It just kind of really set the fruit trees back a good bit. I didn't get anything out of my peaches. A few old crab apples. I mean, they're supposed to be, I'm trying to think what they are, golden something anyways. They still ain't nothing, just old crab apples at the end of the day. I may take my old apple trees up. I just bring peaches in there. I like peaches and plums, and I eat a lot of apples. This time of year, my Honey Crisp get real popular, and I like my Honey Crisp apples. Tomatoes are doing good. The little tomatoes, we've got probably 40, 50 of those sitting up there on the counter, and I keep eating them, but they're growing faster than I can eat them. I'm not doing anything with them as far as canning my tomatoes. I just focused more on the squash, and they got beans, and this corn. I'm just sitting here thinking about stuff. A lot of people need therapists, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, if I was a psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever they are, I believe I'd just have a tendency to tell my patients, just go find somebody who needs some beans snapped or some corn shucked. Probably the most relaxing thing you could do. I got me a nice spot here in the shade, so sun's about to reach high noon here. I'm gonna get this done. I'm gonna go be in the house the rest of the day. I'm gonna be, like I said, blanching and cutting this stuff off here and getting it in the freezer bags. A lot of stuff you can get thawed out by sitting there. Our old society that we live in brings us a lot of noise. And I'm as probably as bad as the next person about listening to a lot of the stuff that's going on, political stuff. You know, we just celebrated 4th of July, Independence Day. The United States has always been kind of known as really the freest country in the world. We had more freedoms, more liberties. We're seeing all that change rather quickly. I don't know what it's all going to come down to. You know, I listened to another YouTuber, you know, talk about grid down situations and such as that. And I read a couple of books about it. You know, 1 minute after it was a good book about EMT strike. And, you know, the whole entire sector of the United States, maybe even the whole United States, but the book was about this sector, you know, where they had no power and, you know, so many things happened, you know. But they, you know, in the book, the community pulled together. I don't know. They might pull together, I'm not sure. And I'm a bit of a prepper too. So don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, I like having 40, 50 cans of beans, jars of beans in there. I got a freezer full of squash. I got, you know, pretty decent little old pantry. I'm not on any kind of medication other than just acid reducer. Maybe some Aleve from what hurts a lot of times. I do need my knee replaced, which I'm not sure what's going on there. When I went to the doctor about it, they wanted to schedule it right then and there. And I told that little coordinator lady, I said, well, let me give it some thought. I said, let me just talk to my wife about her schedule. And, you know, I'm thinking about the produce and what all I need to pick. And again, I'm also thinking about how bad my knee was hurting at that time and, you know, what I just can't do. But I've given it a little time. I'm kind of back to like it was before whatever happened that day happened. You know. Let's see if I can knock that off there. Leave that with the chickens. And let's see where it was. It don't take much to distract me. But anyways, back to prepping. I was talking about my knee and scheduling and all that stuff. And well, I got this little coordinator's number. Decided to go ahead and just schedule this thing. Maybe for August, September. Let me get my crops in. They won't even call me back. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, I'll have to get that done pretty soon. But we're talking about prepping and grid down situation. You can worry yourself to death about stuff like that. And you really can. And I'd say my advice is just do what you can do. There's nothing wrong with thinking about it. You know, having a generator, having some extra fuel around, having, you know, stuff put on the shelf. You know, do what you can do. I give it some thought. You know, I give it a lot of thought. You know, I said, well, I told my wife, and I was talking about one day. I said, well, you know, you probably got enough stuff here to, you know, to make it 6 months. Till the kids showed up. You know, my kids, my grandkids, and they were hungry and they were at the door. I mean, well, you just come on in, you know.